Hey everyone, in today's video we'll be taking a look at a new 3D asset pack that's perfect for anyone looking to create their own 3D models. With a wide variety of parts and pieces to choose from, this pack is perfect for anyone, from beginners to experienced 3D modelers. With this pack you can easily create a wide range of 3D models including characters, vehicles or even creatures. We'll be creating a tiny robot using the parts from this pack, and you'll see just how easy and fun it is to create your own 3D models using this asset pack. If you want to grab a copy of the pack so you can follow along, then the link is in the description. So to begin with, let's grab some parts that we're going to use. We'll start off by making the wheels. So I'm going to grab a couple of these, grab this, maybe we'll use some of these, and perhaps this. Okay, cool. So let's start by messing with this object here. So we'll move it, first of all, to dead center. This makes things a lot easier for us. So I'm just going to rotate that into position and grab on the Z axis, just move it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is going to break this temporarily. Just going to apply the rotation. And you see it's broken it there. That's not a problem. We just need to change this mirror modifier from the Z axis to the X axis and get rid of that Z. There we go. So now what we can do is we can take this object and we can move it here, rotate it on the Y, and then just going to move this into position on the side axis. Put that there. Grab on the X, just move it to about there. And then we're going to add a mirror modifier to this one. I'm going to turn off merge and we're going to mirror it across this object here. So that's kind of like the basis for the wheels. That's kind of what we're going for. And we do need to edit this object just a little bit. Just give it a little bit of headroom just here. So we can see probably just a little bit small, but not too bad. We can make it a little bit bigger though. Push it right to the limit just there, I'd say. And let's apply the scale. Perfect. Okay, so I think if we take this one, we move it here, rotate it on the Y axis, grab on the Z axis. Is that about middle? I think it's a little bit up. That looks about right. A little bit too big though, so let's make it a little bit smaller. Just want it to maybe there. And we'll set the 3D cursor. Right, we're almost done there with the wheels. Just move this up a little bit because we just need a little room to attach like a bolt on there. Speaking of bolts, we need to secure these somehow, otherwise these are falling off. So we want to go on fasteners and let's grab, which looks cool. I like these hex bolts, very large. So we don't want it that long, not really. We can scale this down and we need to get it into position just like that. There we go. Looks kind of alright, but I think what we also need is probably maybe this one. Looks alright. And we can just take this and add a modifier, mirror. We're going to mirror that across this. And using the copy attributes modifier, which is free to install, just going to click on this one, click on this one, Control C, and we are going to copy selected modifiers. And we're going to click mirror. Job done. Just mirror straight across there. Boom, boom, boom. So there we go. Wheels in position. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to just click this one, drag and select everything, and we're going to Control P, and we're going to just parent to object, keep transform. So now this is one unit which is all stuck together. Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure the subdivision modifier is all set exactly the same on all of these. So we'll find this down here. So we've got everything selected. We can see the local viewport is 1. So I'm just going to hold Alt and move that down to 0 so it doesn't show the modifier in the viewport. This is just for performance. And then I'm going to actually crank this up to 3 for the render. So it'll just show some nice level of detail there. Right, okay. Let's work now on the torso. So what I want for this one is a hinge, I think. So we can grab both of these, drop them into the scene just like that. and then Alt-R and Alt-G. It snaps them together. I'm just going to move these into position. So we want to rotate this on the Z-axis by 90 degrees. And then I think if we rotate on the X-axis by 180 degrees, I think... Which way around? I think I want this one on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to take this 180... Wait. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so just grab this. I'm just going to move it roughly into position, and then from the top view, grab Y. Just going to move that precisely into position there. Perfect. And now with this one, I want to rotate it on the X-axis 180 degrees. So that'll give us that nice position there. It's kind of strange how these holes don't line up when they're... It's kind of irritating. So I just... How is this formed? Right, so it's two halves. Okay, that's fine. So let's just deselect everything. Grab all of this. Grab on the Y-axis. Just gently move it so it matches exactly there. And there we go. The holes match. Just for neatness. That's just my OCD there. Cool. So what I want to do is I want to take this one and I want to parent it to this one, I think. So Q transform. And this one also I'm going to parent to this one. Q transform. So this one should still be able to freely rotate. Whereas this one moves the whole rig. Cool beans. Just what we wanted. Sweet. So I reckon we need some more brackets of sorts. I think I like these curved ones better than the straight edged ones. They just look nicer. So I'm going to go back into here and cursor to selected. And this one I'm going to do Shift S selected to cursor. Grab it on the Z axis. Actually, no. I'm going to rotate it on the X axis by 90, I think. Do I like that? I think it's alright. Yeah, I'll do. And so then I'm going to parent that to this. Q transform. Good stuff. Nice. Right, so I want to kind of like to make a sort of a spine kind of thing. And I think these stamped parts is probably the best bet. Because you get a nice little bracket thing here. Okay, that looks nice. And what I want to do is brackets again. Grab this one. Rotate X90. Let's grab this on the Z until it aligns with this little hole. Now I think that this is too big. Let me see if I can easily align this to that. Cursor to selected and then selection to cursor. Right, so that should be roughly in line. So what I can do now is I can scale this down. Don't worry about the position. Scale it down to about there. Grab the Y-axis. Just get that nice, neatly aligned. All good. And take both of these and we will parent them to this one. Keep transform. So it's all nice and linked there. Right, we're missing a few bolts. So let's grab... I'm not going to put the full bolts through these. I'm just going to grab these here. Right, so... Cursor selected to cursor. Rotate Y 180 degrees. So I think this is going to be like the base size for all these little fasteners. That looks nice. So I think what I need to do, hopefully this will fit in here. I'm going to Alt D with these. This is all going to be the same. Rotate X 180. Maybe they need to be a little bit smaller because when these two things are closed, they're going to smush together. Can we make it any closer, maybe? It's kind of close. That's well in that hole, isn't it? Right, let's make it a little bit smaller. Oops. Can't really go much smaller, can we? Right, okay. Well, we're just going to have to see what it looks like. Right, let me just parent these to the right objects first of all. So you can be parented to that. You can be parented to that. Alt D, rotate 180, grab Z. Ah, it's really annoying. Let's just Control P. Maybe if I just scale it on the Z axis only. That's probably going to be the only way I can do this. Just make them squished. No one's going to notice the squished bolts. Ha 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 ha. You tell nobody. And now we can take this one. Alt D Z. Rotate X 180. And then Control P to parent it. Lovely jubbly. Oh, where did I go? There we go. It's kind of the body done. I've seen a cool part which I want to use somewhere. I think it's in miscellaneous. Here we go. Right. Just need to check out the modifiers on this, see how it's built. So, have we got any simple? So we've got solidify, subdivision, bevel, and right. Okay, cool. We don't need to worry about the origin point on this because we can simply cursor to selection. Now, hopefully, this will not affect the shape. Control. There we go. Just move the origin point just to make things really easy. And cursor to selected. So all I need to do now is select it to cursor. That will move that to there, which is pretty neat. And from the front, make sure we are scaling from the 3D cursor. And we'll just make that just tiny like that one. And then we can rotate that on the y-axis, -90. And then we've kind of got a hand thing. I'm going to apply the scale, and this is going to like puff up, but there we go. Nice and chunky. This is like Mega Chad robot. Right, so let's take another mirror modifier. Stick that just across there. And there we go. So it's got some nice little arms now. All we need to do is parent this to this. And hopefully rotate on the x-axis. Nope. Well, it's working, but we were not doing it from the median point. Rotate X. There we go. So we've got some cool little arms there. Right, so we could probably put some more nuts on here. So Alt D and Shift S selection to cursor. Let's bring it into the right place. And then we can grab it on the y-axis. Move that to there. Alt D again. Rotate it 180 degrees. Grab on the Y. There we go. So this and this. Well, this one can be parented to this one, to objects, and this one can be parented to this one. And all we need to do now is select this, and copy attribute, selected modifier, copy the mirror, and we have it at the other side. Woohoo! Cool. So the body's coming on nicely. Right, so what I would probably do now is I'm going to take this and this and duplicate this, rotate it on the X -90. I'm going to stick that to that. There we go. So this is going to be parented to that. Has this got a parent already? I can't remember. Let's clear the parent and Control P. So that's parented to that. We can now rotate this, rotate 90. This is going to be kind of like the neck thing. Let me make sure this is all, yep, that's all good. Need some bolts, so we'll copy these bolts again. It's pretty easy, it's not all nicely positioned. If I can get the right orientation. Out there, I think. It'll do. Right. I think I want to grab this object here again and duplicate that. Move it up, make that the parent, and grab Y, rotate on the Z axis by 90. We got ourselves a kind of a head thingy, and this is parented to that, so yeah. And one last thing I think we need. It's here somewhere. Gears, hinges, maybe. Nope. Fasteners. Nope. Joints. Is it joints? Yes. It is in joints. This part here. I really like this part. So cursor to selected. Selection to cursor. and rotate Z -90. And now we just need to like position this wherever it needs to be. Now I want this a little bit bigger. So I kind of want it to just fill out to these holes here. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the rotation to this, fix the mirror in, and then I'm going to apply the mirror. So we've got an actual object here. And this will allow me to take these two pieces and cursor to selected. And now we can set the origin. So just FYI, the Control Shift Alt O is a custom shortcut. So if you're doing it on your keyboard, it won't work. But so I often move the 3D cursor and set the origin to it. So I set myself a shortcut up to make it a lot easier. Right. So now we can scale this from the 3D cursor, and also we may as well set the origin while we're at it. And so I can bring this right up here like this. You see, it's kind of like clipping into each other here. We don't really want that, so we can come into edit mode and we can just grab. I think if we put a extra loop cut in here, perhaps. Oh no, that is not what I wanted. I kind of wanted it down this way, but that's not really working. Anyway, grab that on the y-axis. Just drag it out a little bit more, and then we could get the knife tool, I think, and just go, is the knife tool going to work? What if I take... Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to think of the best way to do this. I think if I just grab that on the y-axis, maybe? Oh, yeah, that's probably the best way of doing it. Grab that to, like, there. Put another loop cut in there. And then median point. Put some scale on the x-axis. Just a little bit. Just slightly modifying the shape of this. We're not doing too much crazy. And that kind of fits a lot better in there now. So let's parent this to this, and then this will allow us to rotate this. I think that looks like a really cool little head. Let me just adjust it how I want. So this I want to move down like this, and this I just want to, I guess I can't really move it down too much, but we can move this one like right down like this, like pretty low, and then that can be out like that. So we just need to kind of bolt this together now. So fasteners, I'm going to just change it and have like this hex one, I think. Now let's keep it consistent. I don't know why I'm trying to change things up right now. Rotate Y 90. Should probably reset this location. Rotate Z 90 and rotate Z 90. Right, I'm going to apply this rotation here so that that's its default rotation position, and do the same for this one. Perfect. There we go. And we can just take both of those and parent to voila. So now we can rotate that. Like, we don't really need bones necessarily. I mean, you can have bones if you wanted to, but I don't really think bones are necessary. We're not going to be doing too much animation here. I think one last thing we need to do, finishing touch. I just want to maybe take this here. S, cursor to selected, and then Shift S, selection to cursor, rotate X90, and then I want to just put that here, scale it down a little bit, just hide you for the minute, grab Z, put that there, and scale up a little bit, Control P, Q transform, just a little cosmetic thing, nothing too crazy. And I think really we could pretend that we've welded it to that, or we could grab a fastener. And I really like these bolts. Cursor selected, select into cursor, rotate X90, scale it right down, teeny tiny. Grab on the y-axis. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Don't know what this is, but Kind of feels like this is probably the thing to use. Someone's going to tell me off. It's like, you don't use that there. Why? But it sort of fits in that little hole, so that's where it's going to live. And we need a locking nut, I think. Selection to cursor. Scale that right down. Take X 180. There we go. So that is the robot model done. And let's have a look at it in material mode, because this is all going to be one material, and we don't necessarily want that. So what colour do we want as like the base colour? See, I like the coppers and the brass colours. We've got a selection that we can go through. Also, I just want to double check. Do all of these have subdivision on them? I think they do, yes. So we want to have this is 0 on all of them, and we want this to be 3. Now that should give us a nice level of detail when we render, and make things really smooth when we're not. Yeah. So base colors. I think we're gonna go with copper as the base color, right? So we can grab that and drop it on there. It doesn't look too great in the viewport, but when you see it rendered, it's so much nicer. I'm going to take everything here, and with this one still active, we want to press Control L, and we're going to link materials together. So this makes the whole thing copper. I think if we turn on this and add some lights, we can see a little bit better. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination because of... Or maybe if we turn off scene lights and scene world, or there we go. That gives us a little bit closer to the color. But bear in mind this doesn't have the subdivision on there. So I think what I probably want to do is take select parts and make them like maybe gold, for example. So this one can be gold, or yeah, take that and link those materials, make that gold, and maybe make that gold. That could work. Everything else then is like brass or copper. Do I want to make the nuts? I guess I could leave them. I don't really know like how, like what, what materials are used in like watch making and things like that. But I mean, these are all basically like watch parts and similar, aren't they? So, okay, so let's take a look with our camera, get it in position, and we can just lock the camera to the viewport, hit the period on the numpad, and it'll zoom straight in for us. So I think how to set up this render. Right, we can just squish that down a bit. We don't need to see that no more. We can come over to the render settings. Now we can come over to the output properties. 1024. 1024. So that'll give us a nice square render. Just add a little plane there. So tiny, only like a 1 by 1 plane will do. We can extrude this up a little bit and bevel this. Boop, boop, boop. And then shade smooth. This gives us a nice little backdrop. Kind of want to see the little cog in there. I think that's probably a good angle. So we probably just need to rotate this around a little bit to face the camera. Yeah, that's looking alright. Let's make a material for this backdrop. And I kind of want this to be dark to contrast. There we go, it's looking nice, isn't it? So I kind of like the like the light on the backdrop there. I was thinking of maybe adjusting it a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure. But we have an undo key, so let's just play a little bit. What if we like drag this right back here? That's the target for the light. The light's mahoosive. Let's change this to local so that we can move it right. Oh god, that is so bright. Let's get teeny tiny. Bring it right in. And let's drop this down to like 25. I sort of want it illuminated from behind more than anything. But not so... Well, what if actually... If I took this light target and then kind of dragged it here. And this can come right back. Where makes a good... That's... I think that's okay. I'm just wondering if we can just maybe... Like if we duplicate this and then bring it like here. Drag this right down. Wait, have I got that wrong side? Oh yeah, shoot, I got it the wrong side. I want it over here. But I want to drop this down to like... Just gives it a little bit extra kind of illumination, but not too much. Look at the difference. Maybe make that even 5 watts. You don't want too much. Do make this like... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Right, let's get this rendered. And so there you have it, an absolutely stunning render that has taken practically no time whatsoever. It's near enough zero effort to make this. So if you want to grab hold of your own copy of the Mechanical Creature Kit, then the link is down there in the comments and in the description. Go check it out, go grab it, and let me know what you've made. I genuinely want to see your stuff. So if you've enjoyed this, you found it useful, then hit that subscribe button. Give me a like if you want more content like this sent your way, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.